Thinking about getting a mini split? Don't waste money on the wrong one. I'm going to quickly show you everything you need to know about making the right purchase decision with a ductless mini split system. I'm Dalton with Air Support. We're Kentuckiana's trusted heating and air conditioning contractor. First off, what is a mini split? A mini split, or a ductless mini split, is a heating and cooling system, smaller capacity unit, and typically they don't require ductwork to connect to them. This makes them a great solution for sunrooms, bonus rooms, rooms above a garage, whole garages, ADUs, basements that are additional dwelling units, or any part of the house that you want to heat and cool separately at an affordable rate. Mini splits are 100% electric, meaning you have no gas lines, no exhaust pipes. Generally, it makes it a much easier, faster, simpler install, which also is going to make it a little bit cheaper than a traditional ducted system. In many situations, now we're using ductless mini split units to heat and cool entire houses. So it can be a solution for a problem room or your entire home, just depending on your situation. The benefits of a ductless mini split system is generally going to be a cheaper installation cost, a lower cost of operation compared to a ducted system of similar size, and that's just because mini split units are inverter driven, meaning they ramp up and down in capacity. That allows them to be a lot more efficient. Think of it as coasting and slowly accelerating, slowly decelerating when you're driving your car, as opposed to a standard air conditioner or a basic air conditioner that's going to have one speed turning on and off. That also allows it to be significantly quieter. Lastly, they are a lot smaller in size, allowing you to put them in a lot more places that you typically couldn't fit ductwork and a big old outside unit. Now that we know what a mini split does and when you might want one, let's talk about the nuances that come with purchasing one and having one installed in your own home. The first thing we like to look at is how many units you actually need inside. So the nice thing about mini splits is you can typically get 4 to 5 inside units per one outside unit. That makes them widely flexible. The other thing you can do is mix and match the inside units. A lot of people, when they see mini splits, they think of just this old design here. A lot of people don't know you can get all of these options too. So that makes them really nice and diverse on what you can install and the aesthetic appeal or application that comes with it. Lastly, and my personal favorite, is the ducted mini split. Yeah, that's right. It sounds exactly like what it is. It's a mini split unit, so the outside unit is still a mini split. You can still pair it to multiple inside heads, but the inside unit, one of your indoor heads, is a ducted air handler. So that allows us to have ductwork to multiple rooms with the advantage of keeping a mini split and mixing and matching the inside units. A slim duct or concealed air handler is exactly what it sounds like. It's a small inside unit that typically we'll put up in an attic space, and it doesn't have to be a very tall attic either. We'll connect ductwork to it, and you still get the advantages of having a variable speed inverter driven unit at a much cheaper cost than you would a traditional ducted system. So once we know if you're going multi-zone or single zone, the next thing we need to decide is, do you need cooling only or a heat pump? See, mini splits actually can come in a cooling only model. So in our area where it's generally warm most of the year and you have a hot garage or a hot room above a garage, sometimes people just want the air conditioning only. Generally, that's going to be a little bit cheaper of an installation cost and a little bit less maintenance down the road and fewer repairs that you would have to do if you don't need the heating side. On the other end, if you do need heating for, a heat pump is the great solution, and the price difference isn't much to get both heating and cooling, so 9 times out of 10, we almost always do a heat pump, even if the intended use isn't really for heating. After that, we're going to right size the equipment, meaning we're going to do a manual J heat load calculation to determine what size unit needs to go in the space. Not every home is built the same, so you can't just go off some basic rules of thumb square footage because it's just not going to be accurate. What we have to do is we have to look at the insulation values if we can tell, or we're going to have to make some best guesses and decide how many BTUs of heating and cooling, so how much heat or cooling you need per room per space, and that's how we can pick what size mini split system we're going to put in. A lot of companies miss this part. If you're using a mini split for heating as the only source of heat, you need to make sure you're selecting the right mini split unit. This is going to be the outside unit. If it's a Mitsubishi, it's going to be a Mitsubishi Hyperheat. If it's a Daikin, it's going to be a Daikin Aurora. Most models and most brands have it, but a lot of the ones that you see that are not name brand don't even make a unit that's designed for low outside temperatures. So that means when it gets below freezing, it's going to be freezing in your house. Unit will still produce some level of heat, but it will not be hot enough to really satisfy what you need the temperature to be. Most people aren't okay with it being 40 or 50 degrees. That being said, if it's a garage or a place that you just want to knock the edge off or take the chill off, a regular mini split could work fine. When it comes to the installation, there are a couple of features that we like to add on to a mini split system that just makes it look like a much more polished final product. When we install them, we like to put line covering, or what we call line hide, over the refrigerant lines that will go on the exterior of the home. So that is one of the things you will see is the refrigerant lines typically have to run on the exterior of the home, wrap around and penetrate through the building to connect to the inside unit. We can usually get a color that complements the home, like a white or a brown, and you can paint it if you need to. Additionally, on a mini split, we always put surge protection on it to prevent it from lightning strikes. Because these units are sophisticated in their operation, they do have a lot more sensitive electrical components that we want to protect. Lastly, we can add a Wi-Fi controller to allow you to operate the units remotely from your phone. Most people just use the basic remotes that they come with or the wall controller, but you have options. Just tell me what this costs already. Everyone wants to know the price. It's the elephant in the room, of course. Problem is, there's a lot of nuances that come with that, as we've talked about already. But when it comes to it, we always want to talk about the difference between name brand and off-brand equipment. We only install Daikin or Mitsubishi products, and the reason being is because we can service them and get replacement parts easily for them. A lot of the off-brand units that you might see on Amazon or an online retailer, problem is the product support's bad. The amount of times that we take out a 2 or 3 year old unit with a leaking coil and replace it with a name brand, and the customer pays 3 times what they could have paid once, it's really sad. The nice thing is when you go with a name brand, you're going to get better warranties, better product support, and just generally a better experience. The thing is, when we buy our products at our discounted rates, they still are more expensive than the ones that you get off-brand on Amazon. That's just because they're a better build quality. You gotta think the manufacturer's shipping out somewhere. When we talk about multi-zone units, I'd be giving you a disservice to give you a price over this video because there's too many options and too many variables. The ballpark really is anywhere from $4,000 to $25,000. Sometimes could be more too if you want to get really fancy with it. So it's best that we just come to your house and give you a free quote, and we can build out an option that's going to work, and we can mix and match and choose the best solution that's going to be a long-term fit. If you're left with questions, you're not sure if it's still right for you, or you're ready to get it scheduled and get it installed in your house, just give us a call at Air Support. Quote's completely free. It's 502-209-8311. Visit us online at airsportky.com.